So hello guys, welcome back with another video of Salesforce Geek channel, and in this video we are going to cover new concept of Salesforce flows, right? So in one of the LinkedIn post I came to know that now when you use loop element, right, you don't need to use two assignment element, you can do the same thing with a single assignment element. What I am talking about, you can get the concept in the later in the video, right? And apart from that, we are also going to learn how to use data table in various scenarios. And let me tell you today's scenario. So let's say you are going to create a screen flow where you are going to get the input from the user, and which is email. So then you are going to fetch all the contact who are having the same email address that the user entered into the component, right? And for those matched contact, you need to update their field, which is opt out email, and all about the functionality you can see in the video, right? So without any delay, let's get started. So first of all, I am going to create a screen flow. So as you know that now we have a create button, and we can also create flows from this create button. You just need to click on this home tab and then click create and then select flow. So you will be redirected to the flow, right? And you will get the same options first as you go to quick find and type flows over there. So both are the same thing. Now as I told you the scenario already, we need to select screen flow here and click create. So as from the scenario, first of all we need to take the user input, that is what is the email that the user need to check for. So here I am going to use a screen, and on the screen I am going to use a email component. So right now, as you can see, email component is dropped over the screen, and here I am going to type the email. Let's say user provided email, and label, let's say provide email, and I want to make it required. So instead of false, I need to type true here. So you can see there is a asterisk mark available now on this particular input. So we are good. Now what I am going to do, I am going to provide the screen label. So let's say user input and click done. So now what I am going to do, I am going to look for all the contacts available in my org which have the same email that the user provided into the input. So for that, as you know, whenever we need to search for records, so we need to use get record element, right? So here I am going to use get records, and let's say fetched, or let's say matched contacts. And then I need to select contact, and here I am going to type email equals user provided email dot value, because we are using the standard email component. So you will get the value of the input from the API name of the email component dot value. So right now, as you can see, this is the API name of the input component, that is email. Then you need to type dot value, and you will get the user input, whatever the user provided into the email component. So simply, if we have any contact available, we will get this in get record element, and for this you need to select all records and click done. Now I am going to check whether the contact is found or not. So here I am going to use a decision element, because now I need to make a decision whether my get record element is empty or not empty, right? So here I am going to type check for null, and in the label, let's say not null. Oops. And in the default outcome, I can rename this as null. and move back to the not null condition, and here I need to type contact from matched contacts, right? So this is the get record element, so we need to check whether the get record element is empty or not empty. So the first condition is for not null, or the first outcome is for not null, so I am going to select it, and in operator I am going to select is null, and here boolean false. That means this particular input component, this particular get record element should have some records. Let's click on done. So now you can see our flow is bifurcated into two parts, right? So now I am going to display all the contacts that came into the get record element. So for this, as you know, we have a data table component available, which is a like new update. Recently we get it, and I am going to use it on the screen. If you want a detailed video about data table component, you can watch my previous videos where I bifurcated or divided the whole part into two videos, and you can learn data table component, how to use data table and all, although we are going to use in this video as well. So let's click on screen. Let's say matched available contacts, and I'm going to drag and drop our data table. So here you can see input, under input you will see a data table component, and in the API name I am going to type matched contacts table. And in the data table I am going to type matched contacts. Let's click on it, use label as the table title, and in the source collection we need to provide our get record element. So select it from record collection variable. Right now let's configure rows. So what is the feature we want? So as you know that I told you, you can customize this scenario from very different ways. So let's say you want to update all the contacts, right? This is the one scenario. The second scenario, we are going to display all the contacts, like all the matched contacts in a data table, and user can select from those contacts only, like only the selected contacts will be updated. This is the second scenario, right? So in this video I'm going to show you both. We're also going to learn the loop concept, because now recently on one of the LinkedIn post I came to know there is a slight change in the use of loops in Salesforce Flow, right? So I'm going to tell you the same concept in this video. So the thing is, for now, let's say I am going to update all the contacts. So in case if I want to update all the contacts, I don't need to provide user the selection mode. I am simply going to type view only. And in the configure column, I am going to add, let's say name, right? And click on done. The second column I am going to add as email. Click on done. And third one is email opt out. So this is the field which we are going to update, right? And click done. So these three fields I am going to display on the page, and let's click on done now, right? So this is the simple flow we configured till now. So let's save this flow. I want to show you something. So let's say email opt out functionality, or let's say contact update, and click on save. So let's say if I click on debug now, I am just want to explain what we did till now, right? So let's check contacts, and under contacts I'm going to select all contacts so that I can see. So I'm going to make the same email for few contacts, right? And let's say for this one. So now with the same email we have 3 contacts, right? I am going to save it, and now I am going to use the same email when I am going to debug. So I am going to provide the same email here and click on next. So see, right now you are able to see we have 3 contacts, and all the 3 contacts email opt out is false. So the scenario I told you in the beginning, we need to update this field to true when we provided email, and basically we, on the basis of the search, we will update the contact and set this field to true, right? So this is the basic flow we created till now. Now we are going to enhance our flow. So once we display all the contacts that are matched by the email, we are going to apply a loop so that we can change all the contact email opt-out field, right? So for this we need to select loop here, and let's say type con in the label, and in the collection variable the same get record element, because we already check whether the get record element is empty or not empty. So in the case of not empty, we are going to select matched contacts, first item to last item. And now we need to use a assignment element in order to change the value of the particular record, right? So let's say set opt out field, and here I am going to select con, which is the API name of my loop element. Here I need to provide the field which is email opt out, or the API name is has opted out of email. So if this field is not visible to you, make sure you check the field visibility and make it visible to your profile, and equals true. Right now, here is the concept which is a new thing in Salesforce loop element. Earlier what you need to do, like not in loop element but the use of loop element, in earlier scenarios we need to use two assignment element in order to first change the value of the record, then store the record into a collection variable, right? But now I don't know when this update came, but I came to know about this concept on LinkedIn. I think Andy post. So thank you Andy for the post. I came to know about this concept from your post as well. So you probably need to like store this particular con object, or you can say contact instance, into the collection variable, into the same assignment. You don't need two assignment now. So for this what you need to do, click on add assignment as well, and here you need to create a new variable, and that is of contact type. So I'm going to provide the API name as cons, and data type, let's say record. Make sure if you are using loop, so in order to store multiple records, you need to select this checkbox which is allow multiple values, and then provide contact as object and click done. Now in this particular collection variable we need to store our current contact. So you need to, in the operator you need to type add, and here you need to type con. Simply remove the dot because we need to store our con object instance into the collection variable. Now click on done. So see, earlier we need to use two assignment element here, but now in the same assignment element we are changing the value, and also we are storing it into the collection variable which is of contact, right? And once the loop is completed, it will come after, like it will come outside the loop, and here we are going to update the value. So for this we are going to use update record element, and let's say update contacts, and in the record collection variable I am going to select cons, because in the cons we are basically storing the changed contacts, and click done. So right, maybe just let me just minimize this flow so that you will get the proper view, right? So this is the flow that we created. So for now I am going to save this flow, and let's say also activate this flow. Now I am going to place this flow on the home page of the sales application. So let's click on home page, and here I am going to edit this page and put flow. So this part is called flow distribution, how you can place your flow onto the various place. For example, home page, record detail page, utility, auto as a what I can say, quick action, right? So these are the various ways you can distribute your flow. So now I am going to add a flow. So let's say in the canvas I am going to add it, and in the right hand side I need to select which flow I want to use, So our flow is email out opt out something. Here it is, email opt out contact update, and I am going to click on save. Now let's move back. Also, let me just make it duplicate tab. Mistakenly closed the flow tab. Let me just open it as well. So now as you can see, email opt out contact update is the screen flow, right? And here is the input component, that is provide email. So let's provide email. So I am using the same email that I used in the debug mode, right? And let me just click on next. So see, now you will be able to see that Anshul, Andy Young, Arthur Song, these three are using the same email. And as per the current scenario, what we did, we need to update all the contacts that are basically matched with the same email. So we need to provide this email opt out as true. We need to set this. So let me just show you one thing. Let me just open all these three contacts. So right now you can see email opt out for all these three contacts is false, right? And let me just click on next now. So see, we are able to see the same screen again because the flow interview is finished. And let's check on the contacts. Let me just refresh it. So see, all the three contacts are now checked as email opt out as true. So that means our flow is working fine. Let me just also provide my ayoungdickinson.com and hit next. So see, email opt out is now selected. So one more thing or few more changes which I want to do in my flow. So let me just open my flow again. Email opt out contact update. What if we don't have any matched contact? So for that scenario, I'm also going to provide a screen, and here what I'm going to do, let's say txt, and in the I'm going to display a text message, no matched contact is found under this or with the email. And what is the email? That is user provided email dot value. So right, this is the no matched contacts are found with the email, that is user provided email dot value. So this is the message which I want to display. You can also make it like, you can customize it even more. Right, and also let's say if you want to make it bold, yeah, let's click on done and hit save as. Let's activate it, and now let's move back and refresh it. So let's say I'm going to provide a random mail do here, and here I'm going to click on next. So see, it will display a message, no matched contacts are found with the email this, right? So now this scenario is okay, done. I also told you that we are also going to do one more scenario in the same video. And what is this? Let's say, what if user want to select few contacts out of the matched contacts in order to update, right? So for this you need to move into your data table, and here in the configure rows you need to select let's say row selection mode should be multiple, right? And everything is other than fine. The other change what we need to do is, so let's say click on edit element, and instead of this, so now in the collection variable I need to select matched contacts table, which is a data table. Then I need to select selected rows, right? And click on done. Now let's click on save as and activate. So let's see whether it is working fine or not. So let's refresh this screen again, and let's say, let me click on next, right? So see, it is allowing us basically to select a particular value here, right? So let me just move back and provide some different email. So let's say I'm going to select this email here. And also let's say for this one as well. So I basically changed the same email for other contact as well, and you can see all the values are opted out false, right? So now let me just go back to this flow again and click on next. So see, you are seeing 3 contacts right now onto the data table, and you can even select for which contact you want to update. So I'm going to simply select Barbara Levy in order to update the email opt-out field, and let me just click on next. So let's move back and see whether it is working fine or not. So see, Barbara Levy, basically it is working fine. So what change we need to do in our flow? We allow in our data table to select records, right? So these are the only things we did. So here you can see in under configure rows, I provided row selection mode as multiple, and in the loop element, I basically changed this collection variable. So now it will only work for the selected rows which I selected on the data table. So I hope these concepts are okay for you, and the best, or what I can say, the earlier we need to use 2 assignment element under loops. Now this is sorted. We can do the same with the single assignment element as well. So I hope this is clear and also enhance our flow right now. For example, in the update record element or in the get record element, right, what we can do, we can use a fault line in order to display some or handle errors. For example, we didn't find or we get any issue in the get record element or while updating records, so simply they will be handled by the error handler method. Or in the upcoming videos I am going to let you know how you can handle error in Salesforce Flow, so that all the flow process will work gracefully. So I hope this helps you, and if this helps you, please hit the like button and subscribe this channel for more such videos, right? And if you want to see more or the previous way how we are using loops, you can check out the previous video. I will put out the link in the I button and in the description box as well. Thank you so much.